Donnie, now he calls me president, so he's come a long way. But he was in a hotel, and he was in London, and he sent down for, I guess it's Ozempic, which we call the fat drug. And he lives in New York in a beautiful apartment, extremely crude individual. He doesn't mind me saying that, as long as I don't tell his name, because we know a lot of people like him, though. Very successful, fat, neurotic, all the ingredients you need for success, right? And he said, President, you know, this is crazy. Doesn't affect him anything, but this is crazy. He said, in New York, I paid $1,300 for this thing, and here I paid $88. I said, what is it? You lose weight. I said, didn't work on you. Didn't work. But what are you talking? He said, it's $88 in London. It's $1,300 in New York. And while that money doesn't bother this guy at all, he's got a lot of money, but the concept bothers him, you know, like, what the hell's going on? And we've all known it's been a secret. Dr. Oz is in charge, and he's a smart, tough guy, and I hope he's going to do the job on it, because it's done. The deal is done, and the drug companies, and they've been for years, for 20 years, this has been going on for many years, decades. And basically, the United States has been paying for the cost of drugs of other nations, and it's not going on any longer. I called the drug companies. I called one of the best. I won't use the name because he's actually a high-quality guy. Makes about $40 million a year, all cash. And the reason is that they've been able to sell this crap for 40 years. I mean, who the hell can sell that? And for years, they've been saying, well, you know, we have to pay for research and development. We have to do this. We have to do that. That's 2%, 1%. But why aren't other countries paying for research and development anyway? And in the end, I said, look, we're not doing it anymore. We want favored nations. I want the same price as other nations pay, which is far lower than us. And I told them the story of my heavy friend, because it was so poignant the way this guy, you know, as a good businessman, he really hit me with it. And I knew it. But they have such incredible lines. That's why they're so highly paid. They were able to get away with it. And this one particular man, one of the biggest, he said, sir, you're right. We had a debate for 30 minutes, and I was killing him. He couldn't respond to it. You know, why are we paying 10 times more than another country? Right next door, we have a country. People go there every month or 2 months to go buy drugs, rich people, because it's such a ridiculous thing. And I said, they're successful, and they get paid all that money because anybody that could sell this is damn good. They're amazing executives, actually. And this guy really did something that was good. He held up his hands. He said, half an hour, he said, sir, I can't do this anymore. I can't sell it anymore. We got to do something about it. It's very unfair to the United States. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? It took him a long time. You know, it took him about 25 years. It took him a long time. And we're not going to do that anymore. And if the nations give us a hard time, we're going to tariff them for the difference. Because, you know, the nations got all over the world. It's the world. We're talking about the entire world. So what's going to happen, Oz, is they're going to go up a little bit because the world is bigger than us. A little bit, like a lot. But it's the world, and it's us. So they're going to go up a little bit. We're going to come down a lot. And it's going to equalize. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. It's called favored nations. And we're going to be paying the price that the lowest nation is paying. And we're going to be getting drugs that would cost $80 someplace else, and we're paying 10 times that amount. I mean, they have one pill where it's $8 for the pill, and we're paying $79 for the same pill. And that's not even the worst example. So we have Dr. Roz is in charge of it, and I put him in charge because he's a very smart guy and a great businessman. Went to a wonderful school called University of Pennsylvania. Congratulations, Oz. Great place. Great place. I like it too, but I don't know. Are we coming after them too? I suspect so. I wonder how much Harvard's going to end up paying us, right? Going to be a lot of money. Going to be a lot. Columbia agreed to $200 million. Others have agreed to mass. You know, what they've done has been terrible. But he went to a great school where I went. And this is going to be earth-shattering. This is not like we're reducing it. Just one quick story on this, because it's so important. It's so big. It's going to be incredible for every one of our different programs, especially Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, everything. But just, if you look at it, I've been looking at this for years. And at the end of my first term, I was so proud. I was so foolish and proud, because I was the first president in 32 years who actually brought drug prices down. So I brought them down for the year. So the first time that this has happened in, I think it was 32 years, a long time, where the drugs started out at X and they went down during the course of the year. So after a 12-month period, and I was so proud of myself, I called a news conference. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that this is the first time this has happened in the history of our country for 32 years, I guess, but maybe longer than that. I'm proud to announce that drug prices for the year have gone down. And the people stood up. The fake news couldn't care less. They didn't get much of a charge out of it. But a couple of people went like this, because I announced the amount. It was 0.25%. I was so proud. But now I'm going to bring them down 1,300%. Think of this. 1,000%, 500%, 200%, whatever, different. And I'm really proud of that. But at the time, I thought it was wonderful. I actually did something that wasn't done. I didn't think it was just a tiny little cut. But it was something at the time. But after getting to know the system is quite a system. And it's run by very brilliant people on the other side. And we're not going to let that happen anymore. We're not going to be the hospital for the rest of the world. We're going to take care of our country first, and we're going to help other countries also and other places. We have a lot of money coming in because of tariffs. We have a lot of money coming in because of tariffs. If it wasn't for tariffs, we'd have a big problem. But fortunately, we've been able to stop the world from taking advantage of us through their use of tariffs, right? Sort of interesting. But also, here's FDA Commissioner. He's going to be working with us on this. Marty McCary, who's fantastic. He's done amazing. He's done great. Thank you. He's done great. He's really amazing. And they're really working on it with Bobby. They're working on it. Bobby's so non-controversial. I wish we could get somebody who's a little bit more exciting in there. And but they're doing something. And I think we have, frankly, that's a big announcement. I think we have a bigger announcement coming. I hope on Monday, Marty. It's enough. We have to announce. We have to make the announcement. It's so big. We can't let people keep doing this. I don't want to wait any longer. We don't need anything more. And if it's wrong, it's right. It's not going to be wrong. But if it is wrong, it's fine that we have to do it. Because we're going to have an announcement on autism on Monday. Got to be Monday. I don't want to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think it's going to be a very important announcement. I think it's going to be one of the most important things that we will do. Because what's happened with autism, do you know that if you go back 15 years, maybe a little bit longer, it was 1 in 10,000 children had autism. Bobby told me, it's hard to believe that this is correct, that as of recently, it was 1 in 10 boys. Is that pretty correct, Marty and us? 1 in 10. 1 in 12. 1 in 12. Think of it. 1 in 10,000. Before that, it was 1 in 20,000. But it was 1 in 10,000, let's say 16, 17 years ago. And now it's 1 in 12 boys, and girls are slightly higher. Not much, but they're slightly higher. It's so horrible. It's so horrible. And I think we have the answer. And I think it's going to be very strongly given, and we're going to do it on Monday. I'd like to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we're honoring a great man, however, Charlie Kirk. We're honoring somebody that's been with us right from the beginning. Right from the beginning he's been with me. We had an army, and he loved what we were doing so much. He was such a great guy. He'd say, President, could you come tomorrow and make a speech? I said, tomorrow? I said, Charlie, I'm president. I mean, You got to give me a little notice. He said, well, would it be possible? They'd love to see you. Usually I tried to do it, too. He was unbelievable. He had just an army of young people. They loved him so much. I mean, they're devastated right now. Everybody's devastated. So we're going tomorrow, and we're going to be flying in, and we'll say some little words, but there are no words to really describe what happened. It should never have happened to him. He's a good person. Nobody deserves that, but he really did deserve that. I want to also thank Representatives Beth Van Dyne and Rich McCormick very much, and Virginia Attorney General Jason Mayeres. Thank you very much, Jason. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Talking about other law enforcement people in Virginia, you know that, right? I had one that was endorsed so strongly by 2 Democrat senators that I said, I don't want that person. You know, when you get too strong an endorsement from the Democrats and not very strong from the Republicans, you say there's something I don't like about it. Does that make sense to anybody? Who knows, but we got to follow our instincts, right? And a very good friend of mine, Bob Unanaway, who is just a great, he's a popular guy. I'll tell you, I heard backstage, and Bob's going to be getting a big award very soon from me, and I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm going to announce it over the next week or so, but it's very important. And, you know, he was incredible. Right in the middle of the heat when we were going, they wanted to impeach Trump, which they did twice, failed both times. They wanted to indict Trump. They did that too 5 times. They wanted to do everything, and this guy was right there, and he was Hispanic, to put it nicely. He was Hispanic, and he didn't care. He was with me all the way, weren't you? You were with me all the way, Bob. He never wavered. Neither did Ben. Neither did Ben. And neither did a lot of people in this room, but they were throwing these fake charges out, these radical left charges, these lunatics. And Bob was there, and it was very tough. They said they were going to destroy his business, and they tried, and his sales tripled. He became rich. Can you believe it? His sales tripled because everybody started buying Goya. Even now, I had Goya last night in the refrigerator. I chose not to have it, but these are minor details. No, I buy it. Can you believe it? Because it reminds me of you. He was a brave guy, but I'm going to be announcing an award next week that's going to be great, quite something, and it's in honor of your courage. Pure and simple, because you showed great courage. You know, we won this Hispanic way. We did so well with Hispanics. There's never been anything like it. On the Republican side, there's never been anything even close. We won Miami. We won so many different places. And the entire borderline with Mexico and Texas, we won. I got a call from the governor. Do you know, sir, you won every single area on the border of Texas, all Hispanic, 88%, 92%, all these towns, and said, you won every one. That's the first time that's happened since Reconstruction. I said, define Reconstruction. Are you talking about the Civil War? He said, yes. It was a little different. I've never heard. That's a term that's a little different. I wanted accuracy. So the Civil War, first time, and we won. But it's because of Bob and people like Bob. And we love you, Bob, and you were great. And thank you very much. And Ben loves you, too. I know that. So we're going to have a big award for you. But as you know, we're here this evening at George Washington's beautiful Mount Vernon, as I've just returned from the magnificent United Kingdom with King Charles and Camilla and the whole group. What a group. They're great people. They're great people. And they really laid it out. They said there's never been, and don't forget, they're really honoring the country. There has never been anything, and they did it for me a number of years ago. It's the first time they've done it twice for a president. That's because it wasn't consecutive. Now, we actually know it was consecutive, okay? If we want to be accurate about it. We want to be accurate. I'll be called a 3-termer, but the only problem is I want to be 3 terms, but I don't want the results of the second term, okay? I don't want anything to do with people pouring into our country totally unchecked, and a big problem, but we're getting them out. We have no choice. As a country, we have no choice. We're doing better than we've ever done as a country, I believe. But a lot's changed since the days of President Washington and King George III. But I think that the father of our country would be very pleased and proud to see America strong and respected again. We're very respected again. And I saw that because You know, I would say the United Kingdom, there's nobody that can do the pomp and ceremony like them. Don't we agree? Although tonight's a very beautiful evening, but I gotta be honest. Nice tent. It's a nice tent. I like that building that's 1,400 years old, slightly better. Did you see that, the table? It was like 100 yards, like a length of a football field, in a ballroom that was like this. It was the most... They opened the doors, I said, I've never seen anything like this. But this is a close second. I didn't see any poles holding the ceiling up yet. I say, no, this is beautiful. It's beautiful because of the people. And we had, by the way, everybody was there, every big business leader. That was really that was an amazing event. But it was respect for the country. It was the biggest event they've ever done of its kind. There's never been anything even close. It was... Thank you. I like that guy. I don't know who the hell he is. I know he's all men. Who is that? Stand up. Look at this guy. I don't know who the hell he is. I like him. Thank you. I like that voice. I like that voice. Thank you very much. But there could be no more appropriate place to hosting the gathering because American Cornerstone Institute exists to defend and promote the fundamental values and principles of the American founding. Those are the ideals that our movement and our administration are defending each and every day. And now our country is thriving like never before. We are, actually. We're thriving. You know, the King of Saudi Arabia said to me when I was over there, you know, sir, 1 year ago you were a dead country. He actually said, that's such a tough one. It's tough. But it's true. We were a dead country. We were going to be a non-country. And now we've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's no country as hot as we are. Under all 4 years of Biden, only $1 trillion of new investment came into the United States. So that's 4 years, $1 trillion. It's a little less than that. Under 8 months of Trump, we've already secured commitments of $17 trillion coming in. Thank you. And if you take the good years that we've had, it's just a small fraction. Think of it. It's going to be more than $17 trillion for the year. And this is, you know, essentially we're talking about up till that point, 8 months. 17 trillion. There's never been any country that's done anything like that. There's never been. And it's largely because of two things. November 5th, the election, presidential election. But of equal and maybe greater importance, so I guess the ultimate is, if I didn't win, you wouldn't be doing this. But the tariffs are bringing the money in at levels that we've never seen before. It's made us a rich country, and it's made us a powerful country. Because of tariffs and trade, we've been able to stop 7 different wars. Think of it, because I said, well, then you're not going to trade with us anymore. You don't fix yourself up. The stock market has just set another record. I think it's 48 times during this short period of time. We've reached new highs. And mortgage rates, despite a totally incompetent Fed chairman, too late. I call him too late. Jerome Too Late Powell. He's an incompetent guy. But he lowered the other day, lowered after. Too late. T-O-O, late. But mortgage rates still have hit a 3-year low, despite a Fed that should have been much lower than he is. But mortgage rate, despite that, think of it. And the country is doing so well. When the stock market hits new highs, it just hit on Friday, the highest it's ever been. We're getting very close to a 50,000 mark on the Dow. That's pretty big, right? Look at all you happy people. I wouldn't want to be in the room if it were the opposite. First of all, the room wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't be here. And Ben wouldn't be here either. We'd all be sitting home commiserating, right? But think of it, Friday we hit the highest stock price we've ever had on all 3 indexes. The Americans are spending the least amount of their disposable income on gasoline since it's about 20 years. For 20 years, we're spending, and we have the number down. I think we're going to be breaking $2 a gallon for gasoline. Previous administrations slashed the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%. Think of that. The administration, Biden, the auto pen, remember? When in doubt, just give it to the guy operating. The guy who operated the auto pen was president of the United States. And he said he only spoke to Biden twice, and that was only about how's the weather. So therefore, it's illegal because you're not allowed to do that. You shouldn't use an auto pen anyway. You know, when I sign something about somebody's made a general or somebody's made a secretary of something, other than Oz, who doesn't care so much about formality, but I think it's nice to actually have a signature other than an auto.